We are heading downtown Columbus to pick up our bib numbers for a race that Patrick and I are doing this weekend. I am running a full marathon and Pat's running the half. We've only been training for about, I don't know, maybe 6 weeks. It all started with our 5K a day challenge, and I was like, hey Pat, we should do the marathon. And so he's doing the half, I'm doing the full. Should be really fun. I keep reminding myself we're doing this for fun. Everything I've done lately has been obviously Crossfit Games, semifinals, open, like qualification processes and stages, and training super, super hard to be ready to go. And this, like, yeah, I definitely trained hard, but I'm doing it because I want to. And I'm taking on this challenge because I want to be doing it. And I want to see if I'm capable. And that's a weird thing because I keep noticing that I'm putting pressure and expectation. For those of you who don't know, I have run 3 marathons in my life. I ran Louisville, Boston, and New York before I ever started CrossFit. So I do have a pre-CrossFit marathon PR time. And I actually think with only 6 weeks of training and I don't know, I think I can match that time. And that's where the pressure and expectation is coming from. And I need to remind myself if I don't, it doesn't matter, but I actually want to beat it. And I think that would be really cool. And I think it would say a lot about CrossFit just because I haven't been training running, I've been training fitness. In the last 6 weeks, I've run a little bit more, but if I can beat that time when I was training a lot more running and a lot more endurance, I think that'd be a really cool thing. So that's my pressure. I think racing is really fun. So when you run a training run, it's a little bit more monotonous, and like I just trained by myself. Patrick and I didn't train together. I think we ran like all of 3 miles together because he didn't like running with me.
Let's be clear, it's not that I don't like running with her, but if I'm training for a half, or I have been training for a half and she's training for a full, her full marathon paces are substantially faster than my half marathon paces. So I either feel like I'm just slowing her down, or I'm running much faster than I should be because I know that she's running slower than she wants to be. So for me, just kind of settling into my own pace has made it a little bit easier for me to kind of stay in my own lane because I have no business running her paces.
And when you're in a race, there's gonna be thousands of people sold out. So typically, what I do is I either find somebody in front of me who looks like they're about the same pace, and I try to stay that same distance so it feels like they're kind of pulling me. Or the other thing I like to do is play games, and I like to find somebody ahead and catch them and pass them, and then kind of settle in, and then try to find somebody else and catch them and pass them, and then settle in. So I just kind of pick landmarks or people or things like that to keep me going and keep me engaged. And then before you know it, the race is over. And so it's really fun, I think, when you get to run in a race. I also did that during the Capitol and the CrossFit Games. So I came off the pig and I was like, okay, who's in front of me? I'm going to stay within that same distance. And then I was like, oh, I feel pretty good. I think I can catch them. And then when you get to somebody, for those of you racing, you never want to settle into their pace. You want to pass them at a very quick pace, and mentally that kind of deflates them and they don't come with you, and then you can settle into your pace. So saving those bursts of speeds for when you're passing somebody is really helpful in a race. So speaking of that, a lot of people don't really realize that, but of course Tia, because she's the champ, she knew that, and she also had some prior triathlon experience. So in 2017, that run, swim, run on that back run, Tia was trying to kick, and I knew she was trying to kick to mentally break me, so I would just stay with her. And then that would get frustrating for her, so now it's my turn. I'd try to kick, and then she'd stay with me. So we were both trying to pass each other and have that speed and continue on, so the other person got deflated and mentally quit. But we also both knew what each other was doing, so we knew we just had to hold on for a little bit because that other person was going to eventually slow down. And so we just kept doing that back and forth to the finish line in 2017, and eventually she out-sprinted me to the end like she does every year.
Don't be new for this. It's always going to be I didn't want to Delaware because it was local.
Thank you.
Yeah, I just did the Chicago Marathon, so I'm not running this one. It was... yeah, I know.
In a long time.
Yeah.
It's been a while. Yeah.
The national champion cross country. I thought he was going to do better. He didn't do too well. It was his first marathon ever.
Thanks. Have a good one.
How are you?
Did you get it? Okay. Are you a first timer?
Here's my shirt. I got a men's small because I have big shoulders, not not running shoulders. They actually laughed when they saw mine small. Okay, so I'm gonna organize the night before race. I've been trying to look over the map so I have an idea of where I'm going. I don't think I'm gonna get lost. Hope not. Oh, I don't think I'll be needing this. Actually, they probably would confiscate it. It's mace. I don't think I'm allowed to run with it. When I do my runs out around here by myself, I always run with this. It's not really even for people. It's more for dogs. I've been chased and not attacked, but close to it a handful of times because people's dogs are just floating around and they're not all friendly. So I always have this with me. I guess I'll leave that at home so it doesn't get confiscated. I run with this little bag. I just tug it right around, and that way I can carry my cell phone so Patrick and I can get in touch when we're done with this so we can go have a beer or a Gatorade. So when you do this, typically you prepare for longer than 6 weeks, and you should do a training run multiple times and practice fueling. We did not practice fueling, did we, Patrick?
No.
No. So we're not prepared there. When I was on a team with Margot, we crushed these things all games long and I never got sick. So I'm probably gonna cut it in half and then stick 3 of them in so I can just pop them in my mouth as I'm running. And I know just from doing CrossFit that these guys do not upset my stomach. I've never run this bar while taking them, but I have a pretty good idea after the games, just knowing what does and doesn't. So have my fuels planned. I don't know if Pat has his planned. He'll probably be stopping at every water station, sipping his Gatorade. I'm just kidding. He's gonna crush it. I think he's gonna run a lot faster than he thinks he's gonna run. And then I ran out and got us some runner's gloves because it's supposed to be like, these aren't really runner's gloves, they're just cheap gloves that if we throw them away, it doesn't matter. But I didn't want to have anything expensive because I don't know if you've ever raced, but when you do a marathon or half marathon, you do throw away stuff and then I think they pick it all up and give it to Goodwill, but stuff that you don't mind losing, obviously. So these gloves, if we lose them, that's okay. Just toss them off, but it is gonna start at like 37 degrees. And for me, I can run in shorts. The 2 things I hate that are cold when I'm running are my ears, so I'll wear a hat, and my hands. And I don't like having my hands in my sweatshirt because then I can't see my pacing. So I had to get some gloves. Who knows if I'll finish with them on. But so I've got gloves. I'm gonna use my sidekick tonight on my knees, so like my quad area, because there's a lot of pounding for 3 hours. And then also my shins and my Achilles. So this is key. Not gonna run with it in my little bag, but I'll probably use this tonight actually and tomorrow morning before we run, just to make sure that I'm ready to go. And hopefully my feet, shins, and calves will be feeling really great. And we're off.
A little bit more time to recover. My hips are very tight, and the backs of my knees and my calves are also pretty beat up, but I drank a whole bunch of carbs and I'm feeling a little bit better.
High five, we did it. I feel tired. My legs are about to cramp, but I set a new PR 6 minutes. So I ran a 3:04, which was really cool. I didn't really think I could do that. So that was exciting. I was running like a 6:50 to a 7:10 for most of it. So I averaged right around a 7 to a 7:03. Which I feel like is really good for running for 6 weeks after working only strength. Watch out. For all summer. So CrossFit works, people. I said note to self, don't park on the 3rd floor of the parking garage. Wow.